If your phone disappeared tonight, how much of your life would disappear with it? Think about it. Your contacts, passwords, calendars, bank access, family photos, because we know you ain't keeping no family photo album unless you're old. Family photos, your business records, your proof of purchase, your directions, ways, because no one's printing out MapQuest anymore. Your memory. We have put so much of our lives inside digital systems that losing one device, I want you to think about this right now. Losing one device. Let me add this little razzle dazzle. You ain't got no cloud storage. You can't access the cloud gone. All right. So losing that one device, one password, one account, or one platform can make a grown person feel completely helpless. So, no, I am not telling you to leave technology. I'm not going to do that today. I am not telling you to stop allowing technology to become, well, I am telling you to stop allowing technology to become the only witness that your life exists. Here are 7 things you need to take back offline ASAP. Okay. And number 7 may be the most important one. Your most important phone numbers. Most people do not know anybody's phone number anymore. Okay. Not their mother's number, their child's number by heart, not their doctor's, not their insurance company, maybe not even 911. That's why it's written on the car. Now I'm playing. Not even the number attached to their own business account. Mm. We have outsourced our memory to devices, and that works beautifully. It's actually by design, if you will. Okay. Um, until the battery dies, the phone is lost, the account is locked, or the emergency happens. You need a physical emergency contact sheet. And for us in business, I use a very old system. My mic is standing on the box, but I use an index system as well as a Rolodex. Yeah. Get you a Rolodex. We're my 70s, 60s, 50s, 80s, 90 babies. We had to use a Rolodex. All right. You need an emergency contact sheet. Names, phone numbers, addresses, doctors, utility companies, financial institutions. Google should not be your access point. All right. Anybody you would need if your phone became unavailable. All right. Do not wait until you are in distress and discover that all your uh, emergency information was trapped behind a dead screen. A phone number you cannot access without your phone is not fully in your possession. Write the important ones down. See, there was a day some of us actually had to know the address. Some of us had to print out the address. Some of us had to know about 50 lamb phone numbers by heart. Area code, or I'm old enough where we didn't even need an area code unless you was calling out of state. Okay? Gosh, I feel old on that one. All right. We had to know these things. We carried around physical insurance card, social security card. We knew our doctor's phone number by heart. Okay. And when we didn't know something by heart, we were smart enough to get a marker and write it on our hand. I'm just saying. And those really helped with a lot of our motor skills and mental reinforcement, which allow, I study a lot with the anatomy, among other things. And the hippocampus is where the memory lies. And our hippocampus has been neglected because we do not develop any form in this day. We lack the development or the curation of memory. We don't even read books anymore. Books are read to us. I'm just saying. But when you write things down, when you have to access it over and over and over, it sears itself to your subconscious and into the hippocampus. Just so if you want to geek out a little bit, just want to let you know that. Your passwords recovery information. This is number 2, okay? All right. You want to do this. And for you all that have taken my binder classes, you know I'm really big on this, right? I am not telling you to write every password on a sticky note. That's dumb. Don't do that. And tape it on your laptop. Don't do that. I am telling you that your recovery system should not depend entirely on the same device you are trying to recover. Because good luck. Excuse me. People lose access to an email, but the email is required to recover the bank account. They lose the phone, but the phone number is required to recover the email. They lose the password manager. This has actually happened to me, but the password manager contains the instructions for everything else. That is a closed loop, right? They need an offline recovery, a good old analog system, right? An offline recovery record. Recovery codes, account support numbers, backup email information, device serial numbers, instructions for what to do if you're locked out. Okay. Your family should also know, people that you trust, all right, know where to find critical information if something happens to you. Okay. You need to have a succession plan. This is when we get into asset management, things of the sort. All right. A recovery plan only exists inside the system that failed is not a recovery plan whatsoever. So take it offline, secure it, and update it. Okay. It doesn't take long. Now, number 3 is going to be your financial ledger. All right. Your banking app shows activity, but activity is not the same as understanding. It's not the same thing. All right. A bank statement can tell you what happened. A ledger forces you to confront what you are doing, what came in, what went out, what is reoccurring. All right. What is already been promised, which subscriptions are still drafting, which expenses belong to the business. Okay. Which expenses are silently increasing. All right. When you write your finances down, which I am a big proponent of, okay, you got to get into writing it down. Even if it's once a week, once a month, you see patterns differently, and you're going to sharpen your hippocampus, and you're going to sharpen what else? That pattern recognition. You're going to sharpen it. Okay. A lot of people drop the ball on this because they're like, oh, my app does it, or my bookkeeping app does it, or my bookkeeper does it, or my CPA. And then next thing you know, you're like, how did this happen? Well, you wasn't paying attention. You notice the $9.99 charges. You notice the duplicate subscriptions. This has actually happened to some of my clients. You notice how often convenience is being purchased or repurchase. You notice when your money is moving faster than your intention. Digital accounting systems can be very useful, and I use some of them. I have multiple companies. I use them, but I also have a manual ledger, okay? The digital ones are really good for accuracy. The physical ones is for keeping you on your toes. But a manual ledger creates friction. And sometimes friction is what makes you pay attention. It does. Your bank should not know your financial habits better than you do, baby. Bank yourself means reading your own financial story, all right, before an algorithm needs it back to or reads it back to you or lends it to you, because it lends it to you. Because understand, if they collecting the data, that's their data, not your data. If it's on their server, it's theirs, not yours. Sit on that for a moment. Let it simmer in your spirit. Number 4, your proof of ownership. All right. This is one of my favorite ones. I think you need to get an accordion file for these. But you purchased the laptop, right? But where's the receipt? You own the jewelry, but do you have photographs? Because your insurance company is going to want that if you're paying a premium. Okay. You bought the equipment, right? But do you have the serial numbers? You're going to need that. You paid for the course, but do you have proof of what was promised? You own the business asset, but can you prove it or prove when it was acquired, what it cost, and where it is located? Too many people believe owning something and proving ownership are the same thing. It's who has the papers, who has the serial number, who has the keys, who's registered it, who's got the receipt. They are not the same thing. You need physical or locally stored records for major assets, period. And FYI, this is going to very much be a thing again. And not only will it be a thing manually and in an analog way, I'm telling you right now, people, myself included, are already putting things on the blockchain. Okay? Your car can go on the blockchain. Your house can go on the blockchain. Your real estate can go on the blockchain. Your instruments, jewelry, and their serial numbers can go on the blockchain. So it has a digital footprint of ownership. Escrow companies are already doing this. And we're going to see it in municipalities and local governments even more, because it's going to minimize theft on a larger level, especially land grabs. Okay. So receipts, titles, warranties, serial numbers, appraisals, photographs, contracts, maintenance records. Not every receipt needs to live forever, duh. But anything expensive, insured, deductible, transferable, or essential should have an independent record. If a platform holds the only proof, the platform holds part of your ownership history. Whoever holds the paper holds the truth. Don't think you can go back to email and download a PDF. It may not be there. Things can be retracted. It can be redacted. It can be altered. Number 5, your family and business instructions. Most households have information. Very few households have instructions. Catch it? People know the bills exist, but does anybody know how they are paid? People know the business makes money, but does anybody know how to access the client list? Issue a refund, find the contracts, or contact the payment processor. I remember when I was dying in the hospital, my business I was still making sales. People didn't even know I was on my deathbed, and I was dying of COVID, and my business was still paying bills that was automated. Money was still coming out of my account. All those different things were still happening. That was a wake-up call for me, and it scared the living hell out of me. And I'm going to be honest, I didn't have no one to step in. At least no one that could step in with any kind of sense, knowing what I was doing. They couldn't step in and take over. Not only do you want to have insurance for these things, right? You want to have people in place. People know you have insurance, but do they know where the policy is? People know you own digital assets, but do they know what to do if you are unavailable? You need written instructions, not just account names, not just a list of assets. Instructions. What gets paid first? Who gets called? Where are the documents? What should never be canceled? What should be shut down immediately? Who has authority? What belongs to the business? What belongs to the household? Information tells people what exists. Instructions tell them what to do. Stewardship means your life does not become an unsolvable mystery because you are unavailable for a few days or in a coma or whatever, okay, or in ICU like I was. Number 6, your calendar and operating rhythm. Your digital calendar may know where you are supposed to be. It's good about that. But do you understand how your life is being allocated? A physical calendar or written weekly plan allows you to see the shape of your life. Where is your money time? Where is your business time? Where is your rest? Okay. Where is your family? Where is your prayer, your health, and maintenance? Where is the work that matters but never sends notification? Digital calendars are excellent at reminding you what is urgent. And listen, they've gotten me out of a bind plenty of times because I will forget. However, However, when I went back to taking on a more analog approach, it changed everything. They are not always excellent at helping you discern what is important because they put everything on the calendar. When you put your week on paper, you can see imbalance. You're gonna be like, I ain't no way I'll be able to do all this. Ain't no way. Something got to be moved. All right. You can see overcrowding. You can see whether every hour belongs to somebody else. If every empty space can be digitally invaded, you do not have margin. You have unclaimed availability. Your calendar should reflect your governance, not everybody else's access to you. And again, when you give any and everything access to you, that is a sure sign of self-disrespect. That's a sign of disrespect. That's a sign of you lacking boundaries. That's a sign that you're pouring into an empty cup. Well, an overflowing cup. Okay. You gotta give yourself some grace in this, or you're gonna overwhelm yourself. Number 7, your institutional memory. All right. This may be the most important one. Okay. This may be the most important one. Your household needs memory. Your business needs memory. Your finances needs memory. Your decisions need memory. Think of the hippocampus, right? Why did you cancel that service? Write it down, put it in notes. When I have to fire a client, let's say, and I used to have a bad habit of not doing this because clients can use new emails, but when I get rid of a client, I put notes in their file. And I wasn't good for years. I didn't do that. And so I would be like, man, this sounds familiar. And then I would go through and I would see emails and I'll start to remember. Now I created a digital memory because I didn't have to write it all down. Unless if you go in my book, you're horrible. Okay. But it needs memory because we're processing every day. And you need something that's cemented. And ink is really good at that. So why did you cancel that service? It may have been bad customer service. So 2 years come around and you don't forgot. Like, oh, I guess I could go back today. And you totally forgot these people stole your money. All right. When did the roof get repaired? Why did you change banks? Why did you start working with that vendor? What did the doctor say? What happened with the insurance claim? Why did you change your business model? We keep repeating expensive mistakes because we do not preserve our own history. The platform remembers, the banks remember, the insurance company remembers, the credit bureaus, they remember, the marketplace remembers, the government remembers, but the household does not. Stop yielding your memory over to everyone else. It's time for you to get on your job. The business owner does not, right? The family does not, all right? And this is talking about keeping up with the notes and the data and the memory. A binder is not just a collection of paper. A ledger is not just a list of numbers. A written record is institutional memory. It allows you to make decisions with context. It allows you to prove what happened. It allows somebody else to continue to work if need be. It prevents your life from resetting every time you forget. A person without records is forced to depend on the memory of institution. Let me say that again. A person without records is forced to depend on memory of institutions, on the memory of institutions. Okay? And institutions do not preserve your history for your benefit. They preserve it for theirs. You may have a few, but most is for theirs. Okay? And as you're listening, just think for a moment. Which one of these currently exists in only one digital space? Is it your contacts? Is it your passwords? Is it your finances? How about you all that are already doing this? Is it your receipts, your business instructions, your calendar, or your household records? Do not tell me the sensitive details. Just tell me the category. I like to take a little poll, because identifying the dependency, okay, is the first step towards removing it. So do not try to take your entire life offline tonight. You're going to get exhausted and feel overwhelmed. That is how people become overwhelmed, okay, and end up doing nothing. It was a good idea, but you got tired out because it's like, oh, this is impossible. No, it's possible. Just do it one day at a time. Choose one category, just one. Create one physical folder, one binder section, one handwritten page, one local backup. One independent record does not require an app, a password, a subscription, or internet connection to access. And everything is connected to the Wi-Fi. Then come back and tell me which one you completed. Because analog systems are not about rejecting the future whatsoever. Okay? They are about making sure your future cannot erase your past, interrupt your present, or hold your life hostage. Because your phone, these things, hold you hostage. I think I'm going to do my next video on that. How these devices hold your life hostage. Okay? They really do. I'm just saying, you know? As a matter of fact, I just watched the video on someone fighting because someone wouldn't give them back their phone because they literally are handicapped and they were right, without access to their phone. Okay. They are about making sure, when we talk about how the analog systems are not about rejecting the future, but they are more so about making sure the future cannot erase your past and interrupt your present and hold your life hostage. Technology can help run your life. Absolutely, I use it. But it should not become the only place your life can be found. Anything important enough to govern your life should not exist in only one digital space, because these digital spaces are a dime a dozen. They can disappear like that. And they are. Don't think someone is too big not to fall from grace. Google, Facebook, all those years of pictures are in your Facebook. All those years of pictures and notes and everything are in your Instagram. All these things are in your phone that hasn't been backed up in the cloud. And I wouldn't put nothing in the cloud. Let me tell it, okay? Some of y'all will be sick to your stomach if you lost your phone and everything in it. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So do with it what you will, but understand that you should begin to backtrack and take certain things offline, and don't yield so much of your memory to this digital space. Okay? Because remember, your memories are a product to these third parties. They're using your data. They're building their models off of your data, off of your phone, off of your Google Drive. And I know, because you don't read the fine print. I do. Every time there's an update, I send it, I run it through my bots, through my agents. And I find all the fault lines. I find out all the new laws and the arbitrations and all these things they sneak in. Because when they get caught, they're going to slide that little piece of paper and say, well, you agreed to the terms and services. So I'm going to leave you with that. Take it offline.